So let's have a look at QANX. What did I say last Friday? That's the real question. What was said last Friday? I never remember what I say. I think I said it was back in the range after we hit this cipher. Yeah. I originally said that cipher maybe was there, and then I said it was fine there because it hit our target. We had a fib target there. There, you see that fib target. It hit the target. When I posted that on X, the price of there was a really nice reaction. You can see it's a really nice. Look at that wick. Fucking the wick is longer than the body. That's a reaction. And I said this is really good. And since then the price expanded. It's up 14% just on that call. If you missed the hit, if you missed the cipher hit here, it doesn't matter because I said it was a good reaction. Remember, I said it's a good reaction, and this is good, and you'd be up 15% if you took that. And then also when I did my stream last week, I said this is just back in the range. It looks good, okay? And look, it does look good, doesn't it? Like I wasn't lying. I wasn't making shit up like I always do. I was being honest for once. Hit the golden pocket. We're in and around the 50% mark, actually, and I think this is quite strong. Usually if you're going to reject, you will reject. And here we're not really rejecting, you know, like you go up, you hit your targets, whatever, and you reject. And the price goes right back down to the lows because it's looking for low, okay? We're not getting that, are we? We're not getting that kind of rejection that you would normally see when the price really wants to continue going down. What we're getting is we've got a really nice reaction and the price is holding steady, it's holding true to the range, isn't it? That's what it looks like. It looks like the price is holding steady. Let me just do a volume pull here. We're underneath the local point of control. That's considered to be slightly bearish. There are a lot of high volume nodes here. You can see 1, 2 volume nodes. So this whole thing, this whole region is one big gigantic volume node. So in a sense, you could argue that actually maybe not so. It's not a specific line you're looking at. You're just in this really big, thick region of volume. And the price is, what the price needs to do is it needs to actually flip that point of control into support. It needs to flip it into support. It needs to flip the value area high into support. Then we just kind of pump up. That's what we need to do. Take out that high. That's what we need to do. And until that happens, we're just range bound. It looks like we're just range bound in this local range after this bullish cipher has been hit. That's kind of what it looks like. I don't really have much more to say when the price is just going sideways. And naturally what you can see is dips are for buying. Yeah, you can see the dips are being bought, aren't they? Less so the rallies are being sold into, more so the dips at the moment. It looks like the dips are being bought. Let's have a look at the volume. Can't really tell. Slight drop off in green volume here. So yeah, again, it's range bound. Naturally, you could kind of go back, you know, you could go back down, you know, you could. There's no reason why the price can't go down to take the local lows to do that. If you can't go up, if you're getting a reduction in volume. What I'm going to do right now, there's nothing really to say, is there? I mean, it's like I come back a week later and I can't see anything that makes me think something else. The overall point of control is still underneath us. That is bullish. I would consider that overall bullish. That's the level we need to cross, that midpoint. Yeah, I mean, I think probably we are that is our wave one. It looks like it, isn't it? Like it's been kind of consolidating long enough, and so we are waiting for another wave now. I think possibly this is correct. As long as we don't take out that pivot too low, then possibly this is correct. And that's what we need to do. Get up there and flip that outer trend line into support. Where have I got volume? Do I have volume here? Should do. Who's got volume? Yeah, no real changes. This post-hack VAR is in our way. Let's just have a look at that again. I don't mind that so much. Yeah. It's always better to be pushing a level to go up. Like if we were down here, you wouldn't be thinking this is now going to go up, even though it's the right place to buy, i.e. value area low. This is clearly not the right place to buy because we're underneath the value area high. Okay, we're into resistance. But the fact the price is just pushing, is a good sign, because that's what happens. The price keeps on pushing until it breaks. That's what you want. You don't want to see the price be at the lows, you know, until, guess what happens? It just finally falls through. That's not what you want to see. Yeah, it's the same in reverse. If the price wants to go up, you want to push and push and push. You know, you want to see until it finally breaks. That's kind of what you want to see. And we are seeing that. We are seeing some kind of price behavior, which makes you think that there is a nice chance that we can actually eventually break to the upside, because we are pushing resistance levels. We're hitting those resistance levels. You keep on hitting those resistance levels until eventually those resistance levels break. That's what happens, right? So at the moment, that's kind of where we're at. And there's always a chance, of the price taking out that low for a hit there. That would be a really, really good long. If that was to happen, that would be a really amazing long. A swing failure of that local low into the point of control. Yeah, I think that would be a really good place to long. It would scare people, huh? It'd be quite scary, but it would be the right place because you're back into the point of control. Golden pocket. One more liquidity grab before you go up again. And ultimately, that's the kind of price action you need for the next impulsive wave. If this impulse wasn't enough, because that's the thing, we don't know that this was quite impulsive in itself. This is quite impulsive. That could be your wave one right there of the next wave. If you take out that low, that invalidates that idea. You could also, this would be quite, you could also be in a situation where you're just coming to the golden pocket, and instead of coming all the way down there, you find yourself there, and that would just be fine as well. Okay, and then you were looking for an impulsive wave, yeah, from that kind of price action. Or if the correction is continuously bullish, you get kind of a running flat type correction, you end up with the price going up while it's correcting, and you just don't get enough, people don't get an opportunity to buy the dip because the price starts to kind of just go up, and then people are like, oh shit, the price just keeps on going up, I better start market buying. That's the most bullish situation you're going to get, a little bit of FOMO in the market. Don't really have anything more to say, to be honest with you. It's a shame, because I like to come back and say shit, interesting shit like harmonics and shit. But I'm not seeing that at the moment. I'm just seeing the price is consolidating, it's going sideways as it has been for a long time, and we just have to see what happens next. Let's just see what is being said on the X Profile. Nothing. Usually when they go silent, it's because they're ready to come out with lots of shit, isn't it? Usually. That's usually what happens when these QANX crew go quiet. Let's have a look at their Telegram. Quiet day. Where are my fellow QANXers? Samuel, we'll never DM you first. Yeah, I don't really see anything that stands out. And let's have a look at this one. This is the trading channel that I'm in. Should join you, huh? This trading channel. It's got 1,000+ members. That's the tag. t.me/QAN platform. Usually when they go quiet, it means that something is brewing. Usually. Who knows? That's usually what I've noticed. So we have to keep an eye on that. Let's have a look at the higher time frame candles. I like to look at candles without anything in the way. It's quite a nice monthly buying candle at the moment. Another green. I have 4 greens in a month. Let's have a look at the 3 monthly time frame. I do like it. Huh? I like the price, the candles. Last week we had a green. It closed lower than the previous week high. It's come all the way down to the 50 fib this week, roughly there, and it's worked its way back up. We have another green candle. I think that'd be quite bullish to reverse, like a reverse this drop. If we can get another green candle, that would be good, I think. That 3-day candle was a bullish engulfing. You see this one? That's a bullish engulfing candle. And do you see how I told you guys this was happening as it was happening? This didn't close lower. It closed exactly on the dot, which isn't lower. Closing on the dot is not lower. Is it lower? The low was 7.2. It closed at 7.2. Closed exactly at the low. I mean, something to look out for would be possibly this developing trend line for a retrace to the golden pocket. Coinciding with that trend line. Let's have a look at the VWAPs here from this low. We're above the VWAP. Actually, that's pretty good. So I wouldn't necessarily want to lose that, because at the moment it looks like the VWAP, the anchored VWAP from that pivot low is holding the price. But we can get these situations where you get this kind of flash dump or flash grab. It's kind of what I'm looking at right now, is that area. Possibly this trend line. For one more dip. May not see that either, because you know we're talking about a daily time frame chart. How long is it going to take? You kind of want to see quick dips like we did here, fast dips. It coincides perfectly next beginning of September. By then what's going to happen is this is going to grind down. Probably not. If anything, it will probably just go sideways, or you could see a dip much sooner. Couldn't you? Much sooner. And so naturally I'll be looking to see how the price reacts off an area like this. In this context, it's a tricky one because QANX moves so fast, so much, so quickly. When it moves, and most people will miss the move. If you try and chase the move of QANX, you usually miss it, unless we get that final big rally where it will go on for days, maybe weeks, and then most people won't miss it. So if people are looking to catch the dips here, you just kind of have to have orders set at important areas like golden pocket retraces, or kind of areas of interest, like in this context, probably even lower. And you get a sharp dip down to 29, 0.029. That would be an amazing dip, wouldn't it? An amazing dip to be able to pick up QANX at 16% cheaper in the current price. That's kind of what you're looking for, a sell and an immediate buyback. And I think we're in that situation now. I'm looking at the prices and the way the price is behaving. I can see that we're in dip buying territory. We're in buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the, like right now I think a lot of people are just waiting to buy the dip. You got people who are accumulating as well, and people will use different accumulation strategies based on their temperament, whether it's to dollar cost average on red candles or weekly red candles, whatever, or just buying a little bit every day. And I can still see accumulation happening, but the reality is you've got aggressive dip buying as well, haven't we? We have aggressive dip buying, and so naturally there is a contingent of people, and more so now that you have institutions shopping. And so a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of venture capitalists, hedge funds, whatever, SPACs. They're shopping right now. They're looking for projects which are like QANX, or like the other one that I do, which is D-Travel, which are highly undervalued. And so I would argue that this is highly undervalued. Why do I think this is highly undervalued? It's a layer one, isn't it? It's a layer one, for fuck's sake. It's a quantum resistant layer one, which you can code in any language. And right now it's only trading, it's trading at 100 million, $116 million. I think that's quite cheap when you think about it for a token or a project that's been in operation and development for over 4 years, with all of the different partnerships, IBM, Qataris, other businesses, South America, whatever, analytics. I think it's quite highly undervalued for a layer one, and for the mainnet not being released yet. I think we'll probably see that expand the 10x, probably to $1 billion. I would argue that that's a pretty healthy target, which would take us above the all-time high at 20 cents. Probably a 10x would be a healthy target. $1 billion. And actually it'll probably overshoot, because then you're in price discovery territory, which is extremely low volume and extremely liquid. Once you get onto the radar, higher numbers, you get onto the radar of bigger exchanges, and then the price could rocket quite quickly, quite substantially. So I think we're good, actually. Looking at everything, looking at the charts, it looks pretty good. We're above the overall point of control. That's kind of what you want to see. I would be a lot more worried if the point of control was above us, and it's not. If we were down here, the price, and the point of control was there, I'd be a lot more worried. I'd be like, shit. And the reason why I'd be shit is because to go up, you have to flip point of control into support. That's always going to be a problem for the price. And we don't have to do that. We don't have to worry about the point of control because it's actually underneath us. And so naturally, what I do think about next in terms of volume is to flip the value area high into support. We haven't been able to do that. We've tried once, twice, maybe 3 times lucky. And the other problem is, and it's a real problem, okay, and I just want to kind of share it with you without scaring you, okay, there is a bearish harmonic pattern in play here, and I think I've talked about this in the past, so I'm just going to highlight it now. I'll just pull up my images. Can you see it? Not sure which pivot to take. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. What one would that be? That would be butterfly. If we go up there and take out that X, you see that? This one. If you don't, you're a bat. It doesn't really matter. More likely than not, a butterfly. That's a bearish harmonic, yeah. And so when you add in my outer trend line, not my Elliott waves, I can hide those. Hide the Elliott waves. Okay. Keep time on actually. Let's have a look at time. We have fib time on the end of like mid-October. That would be very nasty. Huh? A lot of people going for higher prices and the price just rejects somewhere here at around 13 or 14 cents. It'd be very nasty for a lot of people. And I think it's got a large portion of what happens has got to do with how the price gets there. Yeah. And how the price gets there is really important. If we just go up, 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 then you could be in a position where the price rejects and then it just goes all the way back down. It'd be a lot better, and I've talked about this in the past, to just break up, consolidate for another break up. Even then you're in a bearish harmonic. That's the problem. But at least you come back down into volume support and you have a chance then. It becomes a lot more difficult when you go up and there is no support. And so right now what we're creating here is a little bit of volume support. Yeah. It's not a bad thing because when you do go up, you've got volume here that helps to hold the price if we come back for a test. And so we have to create that structure, that market structure. But there is some kind of bearish harmonic in play here. And we just have to be aware of it. I'm not crazy about it though, is it either? Because this A, I think this C went lower than the A, didn't it? It's hard to tell. It's so illiquid. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Yeah, it went lower. See that? It went lower by a smidgen. It's really hard one because technically then it isn't a harmonic. Technically it wouldn't be a harmonic because the C went lower than the A, this lowest point. And so then you'd be looking at more like, again, when the C goes lower than the A, the only thing that works here is a cipher. See that cipher? Or a shark. See that? So these are slightly different. So let's not imagine a bat or a butterfly. Let's just say still bearish, huh? Doesn't, I mean, honestly, it doesn't look like a shark, because so then the only thing that could be would be a cipher, and the cipher, it would have to, you'd have to go up here without taking this high here, this one. You have to not take out that high. You're basically taking out this high without taking out that high, and you'd only know what happens afterwards, because it'd be hard to know as the price is pumping what if it's going to take it or not. You'd know because you'd get a rejection and you're falling back underneath this pivot without taking that pivot. And if that happens, then that would be, in this context, it would look like a cipher, just simply because the C went underneath the A here. Just basing it on these pivots. It's a tricky one because I would have preferred a butterfly, but I guess not. I guess I just have to go with this. And then if it really wants to be a shark, this one doesn't really work because the B came up so high. But you know, like, shit happens. You're looking for a really crazy pump, you know, whatever that pump is, it's going to make this look really bearish, just FYI. However we pump, it will be an opportunity to sell. It's not going to be like, this is it, we're going to break out, we're going to the moon. It will be, because we will be going to the moon, but at the same time, anything that happens here will start to look bearish in terms of harmonics. Does that make sense? The only way that that could change, or that changes, is when you start to create bullish harmonics locally as the price goes up. Yeah. So on the higher time frame, you're looking at something slightly bearish, but on the lower time frames, you're still looking at bullish harmonics, just like that cipher which I marked out before it happened. This one, yeah. So you're looking at bullish harmonics as well. You're looking at both. You can highest time frame bearish, but kind of lower time frame bullish. And we'll just keep an eye on that and see what happens, and then we'll just keep an eye on everything else as time passes to see what happens with QANX. Yeah, but it looks okay. I'm pretty chilled. I'm long and chill, not really stressed about the price or anything that's going to happen. It looks okay to me. I guess you can use it like your bank account, can't you? Because it's just going sideways. You just accumulate. Whenever there's a little pump, you take a little bit of profit and accumulate. That's probably the best strategy for QANX. All right, that's my stream for today. If you like it, please share, post, whatever, comment. Really appreciate that. I'm here in El Salvador. I can't show you because I'm indoors and I've got a really boring backdrop. Maybe it's interesting for some people, but I'm here in El Salvador to promote D-Travel and to work closely with D-Travel. So if you're interested in what I'm doing and you're visiting me for the first time, then come onto my YouTube, come onto my X or whatever, and you'll see I post stuff and I'll talk about lots of different things. And so I'm working on something here really interesting, and I'd like to share it with people from other communities. And if you're interested to hear, then come and watch my other videos. All right, have a good day, have a good weekend.